Gaines and Yaney to jump things up here in Bloomington. And we are just about set for basketball. And here we go. That's a violation as Yaney cannot catch the jump ball, so it's going to go to Michigan State.
You don't see that one way too often in basketball. A little brain lapse by Bendu Yaney, but very quick turnover for the Hoosiers.
That's why they called a tip there, Dan. So Michigan State looking to get things going. They score over 80 points a game, and they're already going down to the post. And Cook, and it's poked away. Wise comes away with the loose ball. Allie Patberg wearing that protective mask. A fractured nose for her came in the game against Illinois. The win in Champaign just before the new year, and that's a travel on Yaney, so another turnover for the Hoosiers.
Yeah, Bendu Yaney just not seeming too focused right now early on in the first, 30 seconds or so of this game. Got to get that together as we head in down through this first quarter.
With the ball, Nia Clouden, what Suji Merchant called a very big addition to this team as she comes up short there on the jumper. Patberg pushing. And now Yaney will pull it out. Penn is stripped, and no, that's going to be a foul against Nia Clouden, the freshman out of Owing Mills, Maryland. Oh, it's actually going to go back to Indiana, It looked like they were calling a foul there, instead out of bounds.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. It seemed even Jalen Penn was a bit confused.
Nonetheless, Michigan State basketball, no score here through 1 minute, and there they are going to Jenna Allen down low, and the double quickly came there.
Yeah, Indiana's going to need to double her a lot. She's the leading scorer on this Spartan team, so the more bodies they can get on her, the easier chance they'll have of stopping her and, relenting her offensively.
And another turnover there from Indiana. Looks like they're going to let them play here a little bit today. A lot of contact here early. Take another look at this.
Yeah, you like that. Bendu Yaney doesn't like it, but it is a charge. It was a good call.
So out of bounds back to Michigan State. Clouden trying to run the point here for Michigan State. Indiana not making it easy, though, on the defensive end. Taryn McCutcheon, her first touch today. Gets into the lane. Wise is there. Offensive foul.
Great job by Brenna Wise to move over with enough time to plant her feet, make sure that wasn't called a blocking foul. Great job by the veteran to draw the charge.
And her heels were outside of the restricted area as well. So good job there by Brenna Wise, getting a new possession here for the Hoosiers. Looking for their first basket. Kind of a sloppy start on offense on both sides.
Not the prettiest of openings.
Still no score here through 2 minutes. Patberg going to work. Late in the shot clock. Shot was deflected, it looked like. Comes up short anyway. Nope, it'll go back to Michigan State.
You kind of had a feeling, though, it'd be a bit scrappy, a little chippy early on, just because, like we referenced earlier, that 4 overtime game, very similar in that mindset as well. Very low scoring up until the overtime periods.
Hey, when you get 4 overtimes, the score is definitely going to get inflated a little bit. Yeah,
absolutely.
Gaines trying to start the offense now for the Spartans. A handoff for Clouden, gets inside, and her first bucket of the ball game comes nearly 2 minutes and 20 seconds in.
Nice job driving down the left side. Easy take.
Patberg being hounded by McCutcheon. Handoff for Penn. Into the corner for Yaney. She pulls up, in and out. Rebound bounced around to McCutcheon. McCutcheon, a junior out of East Lansing, Michigan, stayed at home for school. Coming off a 7.5 assist performance in the loss against Northwestern. And it looks like an offensive foul going to be called against Jenna Allen.
Nice pickup there for Indiana. Shocking they even really called that a foul. Didn't look like there was a ton of contact.
There's more of an emphasis, though, on setting yourself when you're screening someone, and thus the whistle. And a kick ball.
Not a well-advised pass attempt by Bendu Yaney. Luckily off the leg, but very low and a lot of bodies in between.
So a couple subs coming on. It'll be Sydney Cooks and Shay Colley. Colley was kind of questionable coming into this one. We'll see how much she is used today. Some nagging injuries. Missed 6 games with a knee injury she suffered against Kennesaw State, and trying to work her way back, but at 28 points in the loss to Northwestern last time out on Thursday. Now Yaney late in the shot clock, and she gets to the rim.
Nice drive by Bendu Yaney, got to the hole. That just shows her power that she's so well known for. Doesn't really matter who she's up against. She's going to overpower her more times than not.
Looks at the high post, nearly turns it over. Instead, a jumper is missed by Gaines. We could see a track meet today. Both these teams like to get up and down the court. There's Jalen Penn inside, and she's rejected. And it's going to stay here with the Hoosiers.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about this team liking to go up and down. You know, we talked to Coach Merchant before the game, and the one thing she was expecting was a test with IU's driving ability when they start to be able to run up and down and get to the hoop. She knew her defense would be tested. It's going to be interesting to see how often that'll happen early on.
And an errant pass by Jalen Penn, another turnover for Indiana. So Alexa Goulbe also checks into the game for Indiana, replacing Kim Royster.
So already 4 turnovers for the Hoosiers, 6 combined. Just over 4 minutes played and only 2 points apiece.
So here's a look at kind of that 2-point guard set with Clouden, who has the basketball now, and McCutcheon, who's in the corner. Instead, it's Clouden straight to the rim and gets her own miss and puts it back.
That's going to be something Indiana's going to struggle with because both McCutcheon and Clouden are such great ball handlers, and they can get to the rim so well, too. It'll be tough for them to switch up.
And they thrive with the assists, and there's another turnover by Bendu Yaney. But talking about Michigan State's assists, they average almost 22 assists a game, which is, I guess, talking to Susie Merchant, she just said, I guess we're good passers and we make our shots.
Yeah, she didn't really have a good reasoning behind it. She just said, just kind of shrugged her shoulders and laughed, like you said. She just said we're good at it. So that's something, like we said before, Indiana's going to really need to focus on. And right now, they have done a good job not really letting Michigan State do much in terms of passing, especially into the lane.
Here they are into the lane now. Going up is Cooks, and she gets it off the glass for 2.
Spoke too soon.
So 6-2 Michigan State. And finally a little bit of offense, at least from the Spartans.
And Indiana needs to find Allie Patberg. She's got to get going.
Grace Berger also into the game. Here is Allie Patberg with 10 to shoot as we're under 5 minutes to play in this first quarter. Patberg going to work. The floater, no good. Fight for the loose ball. Patberg comes away with it and puts it off glass for 2.
A great hustle play between Brenna Wise and Allie Patberg. We know their leadership is unmatched on this team, and right there, we kind of saw with that hustle.
Here's Cooks once again going right at Goulbe. Good defense by the freshman and forces the turnover. Patberg back the other way for the Hoosiers.
Nice screen by Brenna Wise.
Bit of an errant pass. It's Berger setting up for 3. No good off glass. And Michigan State can come back the other way with Clouden. Here's McCutcheon. And she threw it away as well. So a bit of a sloppy start, nearly 6 minutes in. We'll take our first break. It's Michigan State 6, it's Indiana 4. You're watching BTN Plus. Welcome back to Assembly Hall. A bit of a weird start here in Bloomington. 6-4 Spartans, and it's mostly due to a lot of turnovers here between these two teams.
Yeah, 8 combined turnovers, 5 for the Hoosiers, 3 by Bendu Yaney alone. And for Terry Morin, the one thing she harps on all the time is limiting turnovers. That's, rule 1, 2, and 3 for her. So right now, Indiana not doing a great job of taking care of the ball offensively.
And also no assists for either side, and we mentioned it earlier how much Michigan State thrives with assists as Clouden rejects Goulbe. Goulbe gets it back. She's rejected again, and Michigan State comes away with it.
Really good defensive effort both times, but also a nice job by Alexa Gulbe to stick with it and give herself another opportunity.
Freshman out of Latvia, averaging nearly 7 points a game. As another missed shot at the rim by Michigan State. Here comes Patberg. All the way to the rim, and she is fouled going up.
Like we said earlier, that's something that Susie Merchant was worried about, this Indiana team, once they get a full head of steam, how their defense, how the Spartan defense will react. And right there, Indiana, they had them react exactly what they wanted. Now Ali Patberg going to the line.
That foul charged against Nia Hawley. That is her first foul. The third team foul for Michigan State as Jenna Allen comes back, who picked up an early foul for Michigan State. Susie Merchant putting her on the bench. I don't think she wanted her to get two quick ones.
Yeah, I mean, she is arguably their best player, their leading scorer for this team. So, but on the other side for Indiana, as long as she's in, you want to keep going down low, maybe draw some fouls and get her out as quick as you can.
And the second free throw is good, so we're knotted up at 6. We thought we'd see a lot of points. Instead, we've seen a lot of defense. Here's Taryn McCutcheon running the point for Michigan State. Cook inside, and she somehow gets it off glass.
An off-kilter Euro step in a sense.
Quickly back the other way is Indiana. Bodies hitting the floor all over the place. Wise going inside, and she is also fouled.
Brenna Wise, great free throw shooter, went 13 of 14 against Penn State. So not the player Michigan State wanted to send to their line this early.
She comes into this one a 91% free throw shooter and on cue.
And that's always such a positive to have, to know that one of your veteran players, anytime she steps to the line, you're very confident she's going to get both shots knocked down.
And with the amount she drives to the basket, she is going to get hacked a ton.
Yes.
And she sees herself at the free throw line quite a bit.
We will probably see her at the free throw line quite a bit this afternoon.
He said she was at the free throw line 14 times in Indiana's last game.
It's a good start there. To hit 13 of 14, though, that's unprecedented.
Into the corner. Colley for three, and she tees it up and drills it. There is Shea Colley, 28 points, 7 rebounds in 39 minutes in the loss to Northwestern. Picks up right where she left off. And a travel on the catch by Patberg.
Another sort of unforced turnover for Indiana. 6 already in the first quarter, so you wonder. You'd have to assume that the score would be a whole lot higher if Indiana just sort of figured out their game and once they get a little more comfortable, hopefully those numbers will start to decrease.
Holly the miss, then Cook the miss, and then Cook puts it back.
You can't have that if you're Indiana. You can't give multiple opportunities for your opponent to get offensive rebounds. Very seldom will they mess that up more than once.
So Cook already been kind of a force for Michigan State early, 4 points. As Wise gets inside, a bit of an off-balance shot is off the mark.
Looked for the contact, but didn't get it.
And they're going down low to Colley. A little bit of a Dirk Nowitzki fadeaway, no good off the back rim.
He's not hitting many of those either nowadays.
Of the past.
Over the past.
There's Berger getting inside, and she forces it off glass for 2.
Real nice job by Berger getting inside, and that seems to be the MO for both these teams, is they're not going to settle for outside shots. They're going to go at it.
There's McCutcheon for 3, no good. Weak side rebound by Penn. Jalen Penn straight to the bucket, and that'll be a block on Michigan State. Looks like Jenna Allen was there to take it.
And that's just what Indiana wants. Drive right at her. Try and draw contact. Number 2 on the day for Jenna Allen.
That is a very big foul in this game, early in this game as well. The official was describing it to Susie Merchant, said she was moving back as she took the contact, and you got to be pretty much standing
Yeah.
still or moving straight up and down.
You got to be statuesque.
So Allen will take a seat in her homecoming out of Bedford, Indiana. And a miss and a foul.
Personal foul, Indiana, number 11, Kim Royster.
Kim Royster picks up that foul. 1:02 left here in this first quarter. Like just kind of a fight for the ball.
Yeah.
So these two teams going at it early. Been a physical game on both sides. Colley getting inside. She shuffled her feet and a travel.
This Indiana defense really picking it up over the past few minutes, not letting Michigan State do much, and right there, another turnover. Bendu Yaney, nice job staying in front.
Yaney has been Indiana's best defender, usually gets the assignment of Michigan State's or their opponent's best player. They try to go to Royster inside, and she missed a bunny.
Royster continues to struggle. Her minutes have gone down exponentially since Big Ten play has started. And that has a lot to do with just how she's played. She has not put up the numbers that a lot of people were expecting her to put up heading into her senior season.
Here's the team's leading returning scorer. Increased her points by nearly 6 last year. And it's going to be a foul as Clouden will go to the line for 2. But back to Royster. I mean, she was one of the most improved players, not only on Indiana, but in the conference.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, it was night and day comparing her sophomore season to her junior season. But unfortunately, we haven't really seen another improvement, take that another step that everyone sort of thought that she would take heading into her 4th and final season. So maybe after this early start to Big Ten play, she can find a way to pick it up and regain that confidence in her coaching staff to give her some more time, give her some more minutes.
Clouden converts the first free throw. Scoring nearly 12.5 points a game for this Michigan State team, and she is 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. 5 seconds for Indiana. A double at midcourt, and some contact right in front of us, and it's going to be an offensive foul on Bendu Yaney. The double came, and she really had nothing to do with the basketball.
Yeah. Tried to get it up to Goulbe. Good defense staying in front and taking that contact. And now a nice opportunity with 3 seconds left if Michigan State can find something.
2 seconds. Clouden has to put it up at the buzzer, and it comes up short. So that is the end of the first quarter. Michigan State a 4-point advantage, but we have a good one early. We'll be back to Assembly Hall right after this. Welcome back. Second quarter here in Bloomington. We now send it down to the third member of our team, Molly Levine. Apologize for those technical difficulties. I don't know if everything was working there, but we will get it back to Molly in just a second. But Dan, nonetheless, a very fun first quarter here in Bloomington. 15-11 Spartans.
Fun depending on who you're talking to. For both teams, both teams and both coaching staffs, they probably weren't too happy.
And now we're going to send it back to Molly Levine again.
Thanks, guys. Sorry about that. Both teams are relying heavily on their freshmen today. They have Indiana has Grace Berger and Alexa Goulbe, both averaging 20 minutes of playing time per game, while Michigan State has Nia Clouden. She's named Big Ten Freshman of the Week and 12.5 points average per game. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Molly. Yeah, we've seen Clouden in this first quarter. I mean, she has been very impressive so far, averaging 12.5 points a game and one of the Big Ten leaders in several categories in terms of freshmen.
Yeah, I mean, already 6 points on the afternoon, leading the way, despite obviously both teams not being too good offensively. She's done her part.
Jalen Penn will inbound it to Allie Patberg, and we are underway here in this second quarter. Both teams trying to get something going offensively. Indiana shooting just 25%. Michigan State at 33%. Penn gets in the lane and puts up a missed shot. Spartans getting into their offense here. A foul away from the ball, and that will go against Kim Royster.
You know, going back to Nia Clouden, you look at her stats. You said she's been so great. She was last week's Big Ten Freshman of the Week. She's got 9 games in which she finished with double-digit points. So right now, Indiana actually doing a very good job of keeping her under control.
She had a career-high 27 points in the win over Iowa as Cooks knocks down a jumper, and she definitely has been very impressive this season. Indiana now down 6, looking for some offense, though. Jalen Penn tees up a 3, and she knocks it down.
Go ahead.
The first 3 of the afternoon for the Hoosiers. Sorry about that, Dan.
No, you're fine. That's big for her. She had a season-high 5 3-pointers against Illinois, so a nice start from beyond the arc for Jalen Penn.
The Hoosiers just kind of staying around, haven't really led for too much in this game. But Kim Royster is now on the bench with 2 fouls after picking up that offensive foul just a moment ago. Down low to Wise. Turnaround jumper, but it was Gaines that was straight up and down.
Indiana struggled early on with just sort of setting down low. Michigan State's done a really good job of collapsing. Maybe the Hoosiers got to start looking a little bit more outside than inside.
I will credit Michigan State's defense in the paint. It has been very stellar early on. And late in the shot clock, McCutcheon pulls up, and she's off the mark. Penn with the rebound. Papper trying to get inside once again. Now it's Penn. She loses it going up and gets it right back. Late in the shot clock again. 10 to shoot for Papper. Trying to get inside and a jump ball.
Very quick call on the jump ball.
And we'll go back to Michigan State, but it has been tough sledding for Indiana trying to get to the basket.
Yeah, I mean they've struggled. When they're on the breaks, they found their identity. But once they're in their set offense to try and get down low, Michigan State's just been collapsing so well. Ball movement's got to be a key for Indiana offensively, and try and find some more outside shots, especially when you have Allie Patberg and Brenna Wise on the floor. Both players very good from deep.
And you can just see the amount of substitutions Susie Merchant is using today. A steady rotation of all of her players, even though they are a little bit banged up, as we were talking to her before the game.
Yeah, she said, though, she's found ways for everybody to be comfortable in their new positions. A good job by Indiana drawing the charge.
Sydney Cooks. And another one of those fouls where you're not setting a screen. And we get our first look at Lindsay Marchese, and also Jenna Allen back in the game with her 2 fouls. Definitely something to watch here with nearly 7 minutes until halftime.
I think this is the time where you try and find Lindsay Marchese as much as you can and just have her go at it with Jenna Allen.
There's Brenna Wise, and she is fouled going up. Clouden takes that foul. It'll be her first, and 2 more free throws for Brenna Wise.
Just a nice job by Brenna Wise to feel the contact, know that it's going to be there, and alter her positioning enough that the refs will see that she's going to get hacked.
And we've seen that mismatch now a few times with Wise and Clouden, and a rare miss for Brenna Wise at the free throw line.
Yeah, and Susie Merchant only gave the highest of praise to both of them before when we talked to her about just the impact that they've made after Indiana lost their 2 great seniors last season.
They basically come in and replace them flawlessly so far. Indiana, their best start in the Big Ten since the 2010-2011 season. Here's Jenna Allen going to work on Marchese. A little turnaround jumper, and she gets it to fall.
And that's what makes Jenna Allen so tough to guard. She's got those low post moves. Even though she's so tall, she's light on her feet and can make those kind of plays.
Trying to free up Jalen Penn. Instead, Allie Patberg. A little bounce pass from Marchese. She loses it going up. Good defense by Victoria Gaines.
She was looking for a foul, too.
Clouden now taking it inside. And nearly a turnover, an errant pass by Clouden. And now she can reset the offense. And another turnover by the Spartans. Berger pushing. And Penn loses it. And another turnover the other way.
Just keep them coming. Just keep them coming. It's not been the greatest of ball handling for either team. Back-to-back possessions.
So 8 turnovers for Indiana, 6 for Michigan State. There's Gaines from the wing, and she knocks it down. A big 3 for the Spartans. And they now lead by 7.
Be interesting to see if that 3 really jumpstarts the Spartans from deep. Haven't really seen them hit that many so far, but right there, a nice one to open up this lead a little bit more.
Their largest lead in the game, and Patberg answers right back.
And that's what Indiana needs. They need Allie Patberg to start to get going. 3 straight 20-plus point games. They need that kind of performance for her, especially with Michigan State's defense being so good.
And Jenna Allen trying to rock the mid-range. She can't quite get that to fall. And Indiana looking to cut into this deficit as Patberg gets inside, and she gets it off glass.
Face mask Patberg coming to play today.
Fractured nose against Illinois, and now something for this crowd to cheer about. Bodies hitting the floor and an offensive foul.
Allie Patberg doing everything on both sides of the ball. Doing it offensively and right there drawing the charge as we head to a timeout.
Looks like Callie will get charged the foul. We'll head to the under 5 timeout here in the second quarter. A last segment until halftime here in Bloomington. A 2-point Michigan State lead, and it has been quite a first half. Maybe not as high scoring as we thought, but plenty of turnovers to go around.
Plenty of turnovers, but at the end, we finally saw some offense from both teams starting to emerge, but for Indiana, especially Allie Patberg, finding her distance and then also taking it inside, and then right before the timeout, doing it on the defensive end and drawing a charge.
And she does not shy away from the contact. You can tell by the mask on her face as Goulbe gets an easy bucket inside.
And that's one of the few times we've seen Indiana be able to score on Michigan State when they've set their offense and gone down low, but Michigan State also didn't double team, that being the difference.
Currently a 7-0 run for Indiana since Michigan State had their biggest lead at 7 at the 5:50 mark of this second quarter. Right inside to Allen. Good defense by Goulbe, and it is rejected.
Nice defense, kept her feet planted, didn't let Allen get into her too much, just those long arms at the very end.
I think Indiana has found something in Alexa Goulbe. Had to go all the way to Riga, Latvia to find her.
They have experience there. She's a third player to come over from Latvia and play for the Hoosiers.
As Jenna Allen steps outside and knocks down a triple and a big fist pump as she's playing back in her home state. A good answer there by the Spartan senior. Goulbe inside, an offensive foul. The shoulder right into the chest of Allen.
Very fortunate for Michigan State. That's a blocking foul. That's already 3 fouls before the second half for Jenna Allen.
And Susie Merchant kind of walking that tightrope right now with Jenna Allen with those 2 fouls she picked up early. .15 to shoot for the Spartans. And it's stolen away, at least for the moment, and a foul. And it will go back to Indiana. That's Marjorika Cook picking up the foul.
Brenna Wise there with the eyes. A little help by Jalen Penn. Tipped the initial pass, and then Brenna Wise saw it, took advantage of it.
Cook, her first foul. She leads Michigan State right now in rebounding with 4. Has also contributed 4 points. Grace Berger pulls up from the free throw line, and she buries it.
Nice move. Came all the way around the pick. Nice little step back. Got the ball behind her back, and then just a dagger.
Here's Allen at the high post now. Trying to get inside is Holly off glass. No good. Rebound by Wise. A good box out. Pappert pushing the pace, trying to get inside. I think she kind of lost her balance there.
She's continuing to look for contact every time because she knows the refs have been calling it a decent amount. Not
McCutcheon.
that
A nice
turnaround.
fadeaway jumper.
Great turnaround by McCutcheon. Kobe-esque.
We've seen a few of those already today. Fadeaway jumpers by this Michigan State team. Once again, Indiana looking for that post entry. Instead, Berger gets inside and once again off the glass.
Michigan State's now giving them that play a little bit more each time. Indiana's got to continue to look for it.
Here's Allen going to work on Gulbe. An ugly shot forced by Gulbe. Now Indiana can slow it down a little bit. Berger once again, why not? And she somehow gets it to fall again.
She's just been powering her way through this Michigan State defense down low. And now the crowd's starting to get into it as Indiana takes the lead again.
Indiana's first lead of the ball game. And a foul on Pat Berg. She's moving her hands around a little bit too much. It's her first foul.
The team's third. Kent Royster returns to Indiana. And for Michigan State, Sydney Cooks, number 10, and number 15, Victoria Gaines.
Right as the crowd was getting on their feet. Bit of a momentum killer there. But the Hoosiers still have a lead here as we are closing in on halftime. McCutcheon running the point this time for the Spartans.
Under 1 minute until half.
Gaines for McCutcheon. 10 to shoot. Now it's Cook. Once again inside. She moved her feet.
Incredible defense by Indiana, forcing them to go all the way down to the shot clock, and then the turnover, the travel. Indiana's defense picking up as the offense is as well.
Here's Wise from deep, and she buries it. The crowd on their feet here at Assembly Hall. 20 seconds until halftime. Shot clock and game clock just about equal. Here's Clouden. Trying to get inside. Offensive foul!
The defense picking it up extraordinarily as we head down the stretch of this first half. Just what Indiana was looking for. Give themselves one more opportunity offensively.
I looked over at Susie Merchant right after that foul, and she kind of motioned that maybe she should kick that to the corner next time.
Yeah.
But a freshman learning on the fly here in Big Ten play. 6 seconds left. No user to lose it. Timeout from Terry Morin. Jalen Penn with 1 second. Puts it up and puts it in! I'm sure they'll take a look at that. But if it stands, a 6-point lead for Indiana heading to halftime.
It looked good to me. A tremendous inbounds play, taking it to the distance. Usually you see someone stop it around the three-point line and just launch it? Let's see.
It's going to be mighty, mighty close.
Couldn't see from that angle.
I think they're going to count it. The refs are heading. It's the same starters for both sides, and the final 20 minutes from Bloomington underway here at Assembly Hall. Hoosiers their biggest lead of the game, and a turnover to start on their first possession.
Second half starting off much like the first. Sloppy play, really from both sides on their first possessions.
And a whistle looked like away from the ball, as they're just going to clean up some perspiration on the floor. And it's tipped away there by Wise. Michigan State will inbound again, this time from the corner.
Move over a couple feet.
And now we're checking something at the scores table. I think a clock issue. And you can hear Rhett Wiersbe screaming, it's screen the screener. So let's see what happens here.
The building was very quiet, and he was really the only person you could hear.
McCutcheon into the lane, kicks it into the corner now. Oh man, the Red Sea parted there, and Cook lays it in easily.
Just way too easy by Indiana. You can't let her get to the hoop that easily.
And Patberg trying to answer back the other way, can't quite get it to fall. Clouden now back the other way, lays it in with the left hand, and that's two easy drives there for Michigan State to start this second half.
Yeah, Terry Moore will not be very happy about that one. Just too many holes in their defense in the last two possessions against Michigan State's offense, and they've found it pretty easy.
Now both teams shooting above 40% after a pretty dismal start for both sides. Under 10 to shoot. Royster, a little baseline jumper, gets it to fall. That could be big for Royster down the stretch.
Absolutely. Build some confidence. We know she's struggled over the past few games.
Jalen Penn didn't know the ball was right at her feet, and it'll be a jump ball.
I don't even know if Jenna Allen knew the ball was at her feet. She kind of hesitated for a second.
And all of a sudden, it was a mad scramble for it on the floor. Now Michigan State getting things going on offense again. Cook once again getting inside, throws up an off-balance shot, and Indiana can come back the other way. Patberg on Allen and gets the roll on the rim.
And that's the same type of play Indiana got over and over again, just driving deep and taking it to Michigan State's defense inside.
And here is Allen. And she just throws it away. Some miscommunication looked like between her and Victoria Gaines.
Yeah, Victoria Gaines didn't think the ball was going to come to her, and Jenna Allen expected her to be right there.
So Indiana matching their biggest lead at 6. You don't expect Michigan State to go easy as Jalen Penn gets inside, and now it's their biggest lead at 8.
Nice job by Jalen Penn to sneak behind the defender.
But you don't expect Michigan State to go easy.
Absolutely not.
I have some marquee wins this year against number 3 Oregon, a ranked Iowa team in the conference. I'm talking with some people before the game. Both those wins, no flukes. This team very legit as Allen gets the roll.
Yeah, even Coach Merchant said those were wins without even some of their best players, so she's confident, especially in a game like this. This is far from over. She knows her team can fight their way back in it.
A ranked Michigan State team coming in. Indiana receiving votes in the AP poll. They might see their name called if they can pull off a win here today. It'll be their first ranked win in nearly 2 years. It could really kickstart this wide open Big Ten season for Indiana as Allen goes to the hook and can't get it again. Wise back the other way, loses it out of bounds.
Tough turnover for Indiana, but yeah, starting off Big Ten play pretty early with a ranked win. We know how difficult the Big Ten is. You got 10 teams in the top 75 in RPI. So every matchup in the Big Ten this season is not going to be easy.
And a year ago today, it was Indiana taking down Purdue on this floor. It was their first Big Ten win of the season, and already Indiana looking for their third now already this season. Jalen Penn goes right to the basket. Oh, and she missed it short. Allen was there to affect the shot.
But once again, Indiana pretty easy into the lane.
Colley the miss. Cook puts it back, and she is fouled. And she will head to the line for 2 shots.
Number 10, Alexa Gulbe. Her second and
It's a
first
little too aggressive from Gulbe.
So Cook heads to the free throw line, coming off a 5-point performance in 16 minutes against Northwestern. She fouled out of the game. She's also missed 3 this season, but you can see how important of a player she has been, already playing 17 minutes today. Good for 6 points as well.
Yeah, and finally at the free throw line. Not someone that ventures there too often. Only 14 attempts coming into this one.
And she misses both. So Indiana still holding that 6-point lead to reach the 6-minute mark here in this third quarter. Gulbe inside. Goes to her left, and she's fouled. Sydney Cooks, the guilty party.
It's a good find by Bendu Yaney early and just letting Gulbe sort of try and work her way into the play. Had an opportunity to maybe put it up, but knew that there was going to be someone coming to slide over. Drew the contact, going to line for 2.
Boy, Gulbe has been quite a revelation here in Bloomington early this season as she misses the first free throw. Rhett Wiersbe was in Europe. She was he was scouting just a regular tournament over there. Came across Gulbe, ended up going back to Latvia, and here you are. Alexa Gulbe is in Bloomington, as quick and easy as that.
You never know what you're going to find. Just take a nice trip to Latvia.
Back the other way, Michigan State. Holly puts it up off glass. A good response from Michigan State as they're just hanging around. It was Indiana kind of hanging around in that first half. And now Michigan State trying to play comeback. Gulbe. Reverse, no good. Tipped around by Wise. It didn't hit the rim, so 5 to shoot. Patberg throws up a floater off the rim, no good. Tipped out of bounds by Gulbe.
And not a great offensive possession for Indiana, but once again, something you see a little bit differently from the first half to now is Michigan State's letting Indiana drive baseline a lot. They're not having anybody move over and double them like they did early, which helped them defensively down low. Be interesting to see if they go back to that.
Now McCutcheon off the underside of the basket. And here comes Yaney. To Gulbe once again. They are just feeding the post here in this second half. Gulbe, a runner across the lane. She finds the ball, and now it's on the floor, and a jump ball. It will stay with Indiana.
Great positioning by Gulbe. Kind of.
Oh, loose ball, bodies on the floor. It's just kind of been that kind of game. We have another media timeout. We'll be right back to Assembly Hall. Back in Bloomington, it's a 5-point Indiana lead. And boy, this has been an interesting second half, or start to the second half. Indiana holding that 5-point lead. It'll be Indiana ball out of the timeout after the jump ball. Hoosiers looking to grow their 5-point lead over the number 15 Michigan State Spartans. Late in the shot clock. Yaney inside, it's tipped around, and Colley comes away with it. Pushing up to Clouden, and she traveled. A little bit of contact there, but nonetheless a turnover.
Yeah, I thought originally it was going to be called on Indiana. Just taking one too many steps, it looked like.
Double high pick there for Patberg. Goulbe with 12 to shoot. Once again, that reverse lay-in has been so good for Alexa Goulbe today.
Another drive baseline, not much help. Going sort of man-to-man down there.
And Jenna Allen working inside. She had those 2 early fouls in the first half, but has been able to affect this game even with the foul trouble.
And that's going to be a fun matchup to watch as we head down. Goulbe versus Allen down low.
Here's Patberg. And a kick ball by Callie.
Hoosier substitution, number 12.
Now Lindsay Marchese back in the game. A good run there for Alexa Goulbe. She will take a seat.
Great game so far. Really doing a number down low.
Trying to deny that post entry any way Shea Colley can.
Well, it's been important that she does because Indiana's feasted in the paint so far.
And I think there's a question with where the shot clock should reset to. As they are discussing that. It'll stay at 16, and here we go again. And a foul away from the ball. Can't get the ball in bounds.
All that time to figure out a way to set up a play and quick foul.
I don't even know if they're going to move the inbound. It might just be underneath now. Some more confusion between the trio wearing stripes here today.
Been a tough one over the past couple moments.
Here's Ben Duyaney. He had a one-on-one there on that side of the court if she wanted it. Patberg kicks for Yaney. 4-3, no good. The rebound comes to Colley.
Good shot, though. That's what you're looking for. Move the ball and find someone open.
Now just 2 of 21 from deep is Ben Duyaney. It's been a tough go of it from behind the arc, and she commits the foul on the other side.
Definitely not the shot necessarily that you want Ben Duyaney to take, but overall, that's what you're looking for. Move the defense down low and leave someone open behind the arc.
Yaney now has 3 personal fouls. And there's a bucket from Sydney Cooks going to work on Brenna Wise. And Susie Merchant trying to pump some energy back into her Michigan State team.
They fought their way back.
There's a backdoor cut from Jalen Penn and the lay-in. Colley going inside.
Late
And yes, very late whistle. Crowd in Bloomington does not like it. A blocking foul on Brenna Wise.
Was a lot of contact. It just didn't seem like they were going to call anything. Very late to it, though.
I thought she may have lost the ball before the contact occurred.
I agree.
Nonetheless, 2 free throws, and some say ball don't lie.
Yeah. See if that stays true on the second one.
Colley played for the Canadian national team in Europe this summer, misses both free throws. And Indiana comes away with it still with a 5-point lead.
You're right, Josh. Ball did not lie that time.
Wise inside, double teamed. And the rebound comes to Colley again. Cooks, a mismatch and one.
Kind of saw that one coming from a mile away. She knew there was a decent height mismatch between her and Jalen Penn. Everyone else knew it, so all I had to do was get it down to her. She got in deep enough where she could also get off a good shot while also drawing contact.
Sydney Cooks at 6'4", was going up against the 5'10" Jalen Penn, so a few inches advantage there. And she misses the and one.
Free throws have not been great for either team, really. Well, more for Michigan State, just 2 of 7.
Once again, late in the shot clock for Indiana as Patberg will clear it out with 10. High screen comes from Marchese. Berger going baseline. He's got to put something up. And it's off the back rim. Chance for Michigan State to tie. Once again, it's Colley going straight to the basket and gets it to fall. Boy, it hung on the rim.
Weren't sure which way it was going to go. It just stayed there. Tyler Arena just got quiet for half a second.
And this crowd trying to encourage Indiana again. Patberg off the mark. And now Michigan State can take the lead here on this possession.
Just seems like Indiana's been forcing it a lot the past few possessions offensively.
Personal foul, Indiana. Number 13.
Here's the foul on Ali Patberg. And it's her second. And talking with some Michigan State people before the game, they were saying when Michigan State goes on a run offensively, it starts with their defense, and we're kind of seeing that with Indiana struggling to get anything in the hoop right now.
Oh, absolutely. They're forcing Indiana to take shots that they don't want to take. That old way of them going baseline, they've realized to take that away, and made Indiana struggle a lot from the field over the past few minutes.
Right now we are tied. Michigan State looking for their first lead since the 2:07 mark of the second quarter. A 27-26 lead. And Colley gives them the lead here with 1:29 to go in the third quarter. We'll see if this is kind of a benchmark moving forward into the fourth.
Alexa Gulbe back in for Indiana.
She's been very important for Indiana today, more of a mobile big for the Hoosiers. And right to Gulbe they go, and the left-handed lane is good.
It's just what Indiana needed. Michigan State was on a big run. 4 of their last 4 field goals made. Indiana cutting it though. Trying to make a big stop here.
To Cooks inside. And there's the travel again. Swarming defense from the Hoosiers.
13 turnovers now for Michigan State, and I don't know how many of them were from travels, but it seemed like that's been called a lot on them this afternoon.
Now Patberg running the offense. We're under a minute to play here in this third quarter at Assembly Hall. Josh Eastern, Dan Black, Molly Levine here with you, our entire BTN crew. Down low, here is Brenna Wise. A bit of a mismatch, and she's fouled by Nia Clouden.
Brenna Wise been pretty silent this second half. Right there, doing what she does best. Getting inside, forcing the defense to come over to her, and then drawing a foul, going to the line for 2, where she is just almost automatic.
3 fouls now on Nia Clouden. And that's the 7th point for Brenna Wise. Her 5th and 6th free throws upcoming. And just 1 of 4 from the field as Brenna Wise, only taken 4 shots. But she is almost automatic, like you said, at the free throw line. Over 90% coming into today's game. And now Indiana takes a 3-point lead right back. About a 4.5-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Clouden into the lane with the left hand. And the Hoosiers got to move quick. They got the buzzer beater at the end of the second quarter. Now 5 seconds. They're going to have to go. Patberg nowhere to go. A travel as she just lost the ball going into 2 Michigan State defenders.
And Terry Morin is furious. Saw the entire bench yelling at Ali Patberg how much time was left on the game clock, and forces a turnover.
And that will take us to the final 10 minutes here in Bloomington. It's a 1-point Indiana lead. Don't go anywhere. We got a good one up here on BTN Plus. 10 more minutes, and Indiana has a 1-point lead over Michigan State. Should be a good one here as we come down the stretch. Josh Eastern, Dan Black, Molly Levine, our entire BTN crew with you here at Assembly Hall. It'll be Michigan State ball to start this fourth quarter. And Indiana trying to hold on against the number 15 Spartans here at home. Cook going right to the basket, and she lays it in, giving Michigan State the lead right back. And we've been talking about assists a lot with Michigan State today. Only 7 for the Spartans. They're one of the country's leaders in assists with nearly 22 per game, but today only 7.
Yeah, I mean, top 2 in the country, number 2, number 1 in the Big Ten. So obviously we know how important passing is right there. Passing very important on that bucket for Indiana.
Golbey inside, and you can read into all the stats when this happens. A team is this record, but when Michigan State has more assists than their opponents, they are 11-0. So something to look at moving forward, and that's a block on Brenna Wise. The official pointed right to the circle underneath the basket.
Well, that's also a nod to Indiana's defensive ability, this afternoon. Just really not letting them do much in terms of getting the ball and moving it and then getting those open shots off of assists.
I mean, you were talking about it, kind of closing those passing lanes. I think Indiana's done a decent job of that so far today, as they find themselves up 1 with 9:04 left to play. Now, these two teams have had some classics here just in the past year.
Looks like it's shaping up to be another one.
Handoff for Clouden. He turned around and met 2 Hoosiers there, and she saves it from going out of bounds. A new shot clock for the Spartans. And we thought this was going to be a shootout, but both these teams barely reaching 50 points here in this fourth quarter.
Could be a 1st to 60 type of ball game.
A three-pointer from the wing. A big shot from Mardrika Cook.
Not really known for her shooting ability, but right there at a very needed time for the Spartans, she hits a deep 3.
Just her second three-pointer on the season. Jalen Penn tries to answer back. It's missed, and a jump ball. It will stay with Indiana.
Nice look for Jalen Penn. Just could not get it to fall, but those are opportunities Indiana's going to continue to need to look for as we wind down in this ball game. As many open opportunities as they can get. We know they've done a great job inside, but see if they can get some opportunities where they don't have to force it at the rim every time.
Mardrika Cook checks out after that 3. Wise gets her own miss and puts it right back. It's a good way to pad your rebounding total right there. Get your own miss and put it right back.
Get close to a double-double or something,
10 points now for Brenna Wise. Another deep shot from Michigan State comes up short. Here's Pat Berg. As we are knotted up at 52. Going right to Wise, and she's fouled going up.
That's what Brenna Wise needs to keep doing as this game heads to its conclusion. Right there, Michigan State finally doing something that they did in the first half, which is collapsing and double-teaming the person with the ball down in the paint. This time, though, worked out for Indiana, drawing the foul.
And Clouden now picks up her 4th personal foul. Something to monitor here as we move down this final 7:34 as Wise makes her first free throw.
That'll be possibly a very big story, like you said, as we head down. Nia Clouden, so reliable yet so young in terms of scoring.
Nobody else with more than 2 fouls for the Spartans. And she's staying in this game. She's been part of that 2-point guard look that Susie Merchant likes to use. Here's Jenna Allen. Going to work on Kim Royster off glass for 2.
There's just nothing you can really do about that one. Great job by Royster, staying in front of her, making her use her body, but at that time, Jenna Allen just too good.
And now we're just going back and forth, aren't we? Tied at 54. Down low to Yaney. Ooh, and I think Indiana might have wanted to use maybe the soccer term, using the advantage right there. But a foul before the catch.
Unfortunately, no advantages here in basketball. But would have been very nice to have it. Very near that possible overtime opportunity once again between the two sides.
Well, we keep mentioning it. It might just come true. Trying to get it to Kim Royster. She was trying to set a screen. There's the screen. Papberg inside. Muscles it up. The rebound to Jenna Allen. You can feel things kind of tensing up here at Assembly Hall. Both these teams don't want to lose this one. Such a big game in the Big Ten. Allen inside, off glass for two.
Got Royster jumping, and that little movement by Royster off of her gave her just enough space to lay it in.
Now up to 13 points for Allen, the reigning Big Ten Player of the Week. Here's Jalen Penn. Pulls up and gets it to fall. And a timeout called quickly there by Terry Morin. And that will now be a full timeout. So 5:56 to go. 56-56 here in Bloomington. We'll be right back here on BTN Plus. 5:56 left to play here at Assembly Hall. We're tied at 56. A whole lot of 56s up on that scoreboard. And that means this game is tied.
It's definitely been a fun one.
It'll be Michigan State ball out of the timeout. It was the Jalen Penn jumper just before the timeout from Indiana to tie things up. We'll see if Michigan State has an answer now. And the double team comes on Cooks. Trying to get rid of it. And a timeout called by Susie Merchant.
Great defense by Indiana, trapping her down low. Jenna Allen was calling for it. She knew she was open, but too many hands in the face. There's nowhere for her to see.
And it looks like that'll be another media timeout, so we will take a break as well. 5:38 left to play here in Bloomington. 5:38 left to play here at Assembly Hall. Still tied at 56 between Indiana and Michigan State. Just been going back and forth here in this one today. And we'll see if we need some more extra basketball like we saw last March. Here's Michigan State out of the timeout. Jenna Allen stepping deep for three. A foul away from the ball.
Bendu Yaney just a little too aggressive.
And that is her fourth personal foul. So Indiana's elite defender, now with 4 fouls.
He's also struggled a lot offensively. 1 for 5 today. Maybe a little rest. Get her mind together for the final stretch.
Grace Berger will come on in her place. A new shot clock for the Spartans. Taryn McCutcheon running the point. Mardrika Cook. And it will stay here with the Spartans. Colley from deep, off the front rim, rebound ripped away by Brenna Wise.
A nice rebound, getting high over everybody else. A much needed one to try and give Indiana the ball and the lead once again.
Jalen Penn from just inside the three-point arc, knocks down the jumper.
That's just what Indiana needed. They know how close and intense this game's going to get, so every point counts. Every offensive possession counts.
Great catch from Jenna Allen. She turns to her right and lays it in. That move over her left shoulder has been so good for her today.
And Indiana's played her well down low. She's just been stronger.
15 points now for Allen, the Bedford, Indiana native. Now Grace Berger answers back as she rattles it home. Like we've been saying, just back and forth we go.
It's going to be one of those games, it seems, where whoever's got the ball the last possession is going to have the best chance to win this one.
Or whoever can get a stop on defense.
Or that. Whichever one comes first.
Once again, Jenna Allen down low, spinning around, puts it off glass, no good. Cooks the rebound and puts it back.
That's just being very aware by Sydney Cook. Down low.
Rejected by Sydney Cooks. Now inside, an offensive foul on Grace Berger. It was Mardrika Cook to take the charge. We take another look at this. Rejection there by Sydney Cooks.
Benduyeni already coming back.
3:37 left to play, and I think Terry Morin's just saying we got to, I guess, ride or die with Benduyeni in her foul trouble.
Well, you know how good she is defensively, so I guess she's just hoping that she can be a little smarter on that side of the ball.
And they're just going to go right back to Jenna Allen. And good defense by Alexa Goulbe forces the missed shot. Ali Patberg now for Indiana. Approaching that 3-minute mark. We're tied at 60. Trying the pick and roll. The pass by Jalen Penn is stolen away.
Great awareness by Cook to get a hand in there.
And a timeout will be taken by Susie Merchant. A 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. If you're Michigan State, are you just trying to go straight at Benduyeni, or are you still trying to run your offense here?
I think you're doing one of two things. You're either trying to come at Benduyeni or just continuing to give it to Jenna Allen and having her work. Because it hasn't not worked really throughout the game for her. You give it down to her, she's gonna go over that left shoulder more times than not. More times than not, she's found a way for it to go in. So I think that's the game plan coming out of this timeout.
Some stats for you. Jenna Allen with 15 points, leading Michigan State. Jalen Penn with 14, leading Indiana. Brenna Wise also another double-double for her, 12 points and 10 rebounds. Both teams with 9 assists, and we mentioned that number of assists for Michigan State because they average so many of them, but not today.
And that's been important for Indiana.
So under 3 minutes to play, all tied at 60. Sydney Cooks will trigger. And out of bounds. Ali Patberg thought that should have gone to Indiana.
Looked like it may have just careened off her shoulder.
It'll be Taryn McCutcheon now to inbound. The lob there for Sydney Cooks. She puts it up and puts it in. Big bucket from Sydney Cooks. They can just throw it up to her at 6'4".
It's always helpful to have someone that's significantly taller than basically everybody else out there on the floor.
So Michigan State now a 2-point lead. It's a teeter-totter here at Assembly Hall. Trying to find that post entry to Goulbe, and they finally get it. 10 on 10 here. Takes it out for Patberg. 7 to shoot. To the lane. No good off glass. And there is that defensive stop. We'll see if the Spartans can make Indiana pay. It's Gaines for 3. Long, and the rebound comes to Jalen Penn. That could have been a big, big bucket for the Spartans.
That could have been a very early dagger.
Indiana worked in around late in the shot clock again. Jalen Penn into the corner for Yaney. Just inside the three-point arc, and she rattles it home. Boy, what a gutsy shot from Benduyeni. Just her second make on the day.
Struggled so much, but had enough confidence in that one. Luckily for her, it goes in, and we're tied.
Crowd on their feet. A minute and a half to play. All tied at 62. High stakes here in Bloomington. From deep with 3 on the shot clock. No good. The rebound to Brenna Wise with 1:15 left and a foul on Mardrika Cook on the rebound.
Huge rebound for Indiana. We talked about, like you said, that defensive stop right there, that rebound, and then fighting her way to the foul, too.
I think the fact that she came in late there was the reason for the whistle.
It was really a foul that didn't really need to happen.
Now, you don't need it from the opposite free throw line.
Could have just could have just pressed her on the way up.
Only the second foul for Cook. And now a timeout from Indiana with 1:04 left. And it'll be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. If you're Indiana, what do you draw up here in this situation?
You know, I think you look at Alexa Gulbe if you can find something quick underneath. But if not, you look for Allie Patberg. You know what she can do. You know she's big time. She's clutch. So I think those are the two options that Terry Moore is looking for coming out of the timeout.
Gulbe has gotten a lot more minutes here as we've approached Big Ten play. She was kind of eased into things, then rolled her ankle in practice before the Butler game, missed a few, but then was back for the Puerto Rico trip where they went 2-1 and has been very big in this game today, mostly on the defensive side, but also contributing 9 points.
Well, she's needed to be great offensively, going up against Jenna Allen most times. She's been up to the task for the most part.
1 minute remains.
So here comes Indiana now, under a minute to play, tied at 62. 10 seconds on the shot clock for the Hoosiers. To Benduyeni. Jalen Penn is open. She wants her 3, and she buries it! What a shot from Jalen Penn, and a timeout for Michigan State.
Wow, Jalen Penn. Huge bucket. Just when Indiana needed it most.
Just like last year in East Lansing, a dagger of a 3 for Jalen Penn. She hit a 3 in the corner last season at Michigan State in an equally as important moment. And what a shot once again from the sophomore out of Louisville.
She came up big right at the end of the first half, taking it the distance to get that buzzer-beating layup. And then right here, with 45 seconds left, a huge 3. And you never want to get too ahead of yourself with 45 seconds left and only a 3-point lead. But the way this game has been going, that could be enough.
Just the 4th made 3 for Indiana. They're 4 of 8 from behind the arc. Michigan State 4 of 12. And Michigan State now with 1 timeout. They chose to take a timeout there to advance the ball. Still plenty of time here. There's a 15.7 differential between shot clock and game clock. And these teams have so much drama in them. Shea Colley will start the offense. Looking for Jenna Allen. Now it's McCutcheon. And just running into each other. McCutcheon to the lane. Off glass for 2.
Huge.
Yaney. And Michigan State's probably going to have to foul here. It's exactly what they do. Shea Colley commits the foul.
Personal foul, Michigan State, number 0, Shea Colley. Her 4th personal.
Still not in the bonus quite yet.
You have to assume they're going to try and get it to either Jalen Penn or Brenna Wise. 2 of their best free throw shooters. Specifically Wise, obviously.
Benduyeni will inbound. Still 2 timeouts for the Hoosiers. They get it into Patberg. She's dribbling around in the backcourt. And there was a foul called.
The personal foul is Michigan State, number 4.
And that's on Taryn McCutcheon. That's very important. It's Taryn McCutcheon and not Clouden, who was also in the area. Clouden with 4 fouls. And Colley also with 4 fouls. So those are the 2 that kind of have to be careful if you're Michigan State.
Now, I'm sure something they talked about coming out of the timeout.
Hapberg at the free throw line. Comes up short on the first attempt. She's an 83% free throw shooter coming in. This is a big one right here. It'll at least make it a one-bucket game. And she buries it. A timeout for Michigan State. Their final timeout will advance it. And you'd think they'd probably go for the last shot just because they're out of timeouts here. No shot clock either.
You would assume so, especially knowing Indiana has 2 timeouts left, that they could, you know, you'd assume they'd try and take it and set something up, but Indiana got to keep them outside as much as they possibly can. They've struggled from deep. You got to almost make them go for the win.
But are we staring down the barrel of overtime once again?
We could be. We could be. Hopefully not 4 overtimes.
If you're Michigan State, who do you go to? Do you go to Jenna Allen, or are you trying for Shea Colley maybe?
You know, that's an interesting situation that you put yourself in. Are you willing to risk, if you go to Jenna Allen, are you willing to risk her maybe putting it up with a little too much time left and giving Indiana the chance? Or do you give it to someone like Shea Colley or Nia Clouden, let them dribble the ball out, but then also maybe miss, and then you don't have another opportunity? So, you know, it's one of those situations as a coach, you just got to figure out which one is more important. I think they go for the points right now. I think they go for the tie and try and get it into overtime, just because that's the way this game's been going. It's been so hard to get points, but we'll see.
So they advance the ball with the timeout, but they are out of timeout, so they can't advance it anymore. Here we go. Shot clock turned off. Game clock at 17. Here comes Shea Colley. Picks up her dribble. Finds McCutcheon with 10. McCutcheon for gains of 3. It's long. Fight for the rebound. Indiana ball. And a timeout used by Terry Morin will advance the ball. So we take another look at the scramble for the loose ball.
Can't really see it from that angle, but they call it Indiana ball, and that's just huge. Great defense by Indiana. And we were wondering if they just try and take it all the way down to the final second. They chose to go up with it a little early. Now Indiana, an opportunity to ice the game.
Well, it's going to come down to free throw shooting. Indiana advanced the ball, so they will get it here on the near side in the front court. Only 5.3 seconds left. So you're assuming a very quick foul, as Michigan State will have to advance it the entire floor with no timeouts left. So Bendu Yaney will trigger. It'll be Mardrika Cook defending the inbound. And it's tipped away by Taryn McCutcheon. A few tenths of a second come off the clock.
Nice play by McCutcheon. Makes it a little bit more of a difficult inbound just because there's a little less space to move around the baseline.
So 4.6 seconds left now. And a timeout called by Terry Morin. Indiana some trouble getting it in. So both teams now out of timeouts.
And maybe you wonder if they change who's passing the ball in. If you maybe pick someone a little taller, maybe pick Alexis Goulbe, who can see over the defense a little better than Bendu Yaney. But credit Michigan State, not giving any opportunities for anyone to get open for that inbound.
They are such a long team. We mentioned just their height today. I mean, Sydney Cook's at 6'4", Jenna Allen at 6'4", Mardrika Cook at 6 foot. Then you have Taryn McCutcheon, who's maybe the smallest on the floor at 5'5". But nonetheless, there's a lot of length on the court for Michigan State that makes it a little bit difficult maybe for Indiana to inbound the basketball.
Oh, absolutely. That's when you need the height the most, especially in these situations. You know that it's all about forcing Indiana to make a mistake. So if you can find a way to just get your length and use your length as best you can, these are the opportunities when you're very glad to have that.
So Michigan State breaks the timeout. They'll be looking for a quick foul or a steal. 4.6 seconds left. No timeouts for either side. So it'll be Ben Duganey to inbound. Mardrika Cook defending the inbound. They get it into Wise, and a very quick foul. Took 1.1 off the clock. It'll be Wise at the free throw line. Probably Indiana's best free throw shooter.
Looked like she took a shot to the face, too. Flinched a little bit back.
So Indiana will not put anybody in the lane. 2 free throws can ice this game for the Hoosiers. This place is silent. And she knocks down the first one. This one can end it right here for the Hoosiers. And she drains it. Rhett Wiersma saying no fouls. Shea Colley moving it up court. The long 3 is no good. And Indiana, what a home win for the Hoosiers.
Incredible. When we started this game, you didn't know which way this one was going to go. Both teams turning it over a ton early on, and it was very back and forth the entire contest, but Indiana just had enough at the very end to put this one away and get a big, big victory over a ranked Michigan State team.
Punches and counter punches. Indiana moves to 3-0 in the conference. Michigan State falls to 1-2. And I think you just might see Indiana in the AP rankings this upcoming week. They've been receiving votes for quite some time, and now they might have their marquee win, and they move to 14-1 overall. So quite a day here in Bloomington. It was her punches and counter punches, but Indiana